Hello and welcome. I am Matt Roddy, and this is the Greater Prescott podcast, where we talk about, you guessed it, all things Greater Prescott. Today, I want to welcome Yveth and Alyssa from Bipedal Studio. Yveth is the co-owner, and Alyssa is the operations manager. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
That was easy.
It was a lot easier. I've mucked it up some pretty good times. That's how it goes. Seriously, thank you for your time.
We appreciate your time as well.
Yveth, I'm throwing it right to you. In less than 1 minute, what is Bipedal Studio?
Bipedal Studio is a fun environment where you can come in and de-stress and let go of whatever you have going on in your day that you want to leave there. And you pick up whatever good vibes that you want to take with you, all the while sweating, burning some calories, joining a good community of people, and having fun. And the lights and the atmosphere and the music make it so that you don't see yourself as working out. Good benefits.
You nailed it. Make sure we touch on community, because I think that's one thing that you guys do really well, and also something that is really important too, but the longevity of exercise in general is just being around other people that do that.
It is. It's huge. Mm-hmm. We actually get that compliment a lot.
Good.
That it's a very good, welcoming and inviting place to come into, and that it is a difficult exercise.
Right.
It is cardio.
Good.
And it's good for you. Yeah, it's
mm-hmm.
absolutely good for you. But it's good for your soul as well.
Agreed. So let's kick it off. We'll just go back and forth. Where were you guys born and raised? What'd you guys do when you were kids? What I really like is to connect the dots. Why you guys are doing what you're doing, and there'll be things along the way that you share that people are going to go, ding, 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 okay, I kind of get it. So kick it off, I bet.
So I was born in Mexico, and then when I was 5, moved here to Arizona. I've basically lived here in Arizona all my life,
okay.
So this is home. And I've actually never moved out of this Tri-City area. So
no kidding. Yeah. So literally from Mexico, you moved up to this area?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How come? How did you end up here?
My parents decided to move, and it was obviously kids.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah.
So
you didn't have a say.
We didn't have a choice. So yeah, we came up here, lived with family for a little bit.
Okay. So you had some family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We
all
did.
right.
So that's how I wound up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you ever thought about moving?
Yes.
Or how strongly have you thought about moving?
Well, I haven't found any place I like better.
Yeah.
So that's how strong.
Yep. Okay. I hear you.
I love it here. I mean, I've got everything I need here.
I agree. What about you?
I was actually born in Prescott.
Oh my gosh.
I've lived here my entire life.
Okay.
So my parents moved here just a couple years before I was born, and we've been here ever since. I moved away for 8 months to go to college, and I moved right back. I didn't.
Where did you go?
I moved to Flagstaff.
Okay.
And I didn't like it. I loved Flagstaff, but I didn't like not being in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Prescott feels like home, so
yeah, totally.
Came home and been here ever since.
Yeah.
So.
I laughed when you said you were born and raised here. So now that again, you guys are podcast 51 or 52, there's been quite a few of my guests who have been born and raised here.
Yeah.
And 20 years older than you. Like top people that've been here a long time that remembered when there was one stoplight at Sheldon and Gurley. And from then on, it was just, yeah. So that's awesome.
It's grown a lot.
What'd you guys do when you were kids?
Played outside.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Football, basketball, anything that you can play outside.
How many siblings?
I have one brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just us. We fought a lot.
Well, yeah, of course.
Brother and sisters. So
yeah.
Yep. We definitely got on each other's nerves a lot.
So is this where some of your athleticism comes from, you think? Or
I think
also
so.
just your interest in it?
I think so. I've always been on some level interested in fitness or being an athlete. Mm-hmm. What actually got me into fitness was I saw myself not being accountable in terms of fitness.
Yep.
So the gym that I belonged to, they had a little sign that said, "We will train someone if they want to be substitute teacher." So said, "Oh,
Boom.
I want to do that."
Yeah.
And that's how.
Because you kind of know in the back of your head, like, I need that and want it.
I did, but I didn't know how much.
Okay.
Because I've been doing it ever since. So.
How old were you when?
That was about 22 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
This voice doesn't come natural.
You acquired it.
I love it.
It has been acquired, yes.
I love it. What about you? What did you do growing up?
As a kid, I was very much outdoorsy as well. My sister and I grew up riding horses. We lived in Dewey our whole lives, so we had lots of land and room to roam. So I come from a family of 4 kids, so there was a lot of us, and we were always out running around and riding horses and riding dirt bikes and playing with animals. Absolutely. We lived on a tiny farm, so lots of animals, and that's pretty much all we did as kids. Played outside.
Do your folks still have animals?
Yes.
Okay.
We sold all of our horses a couple years ago. Just all the kids grew up and moved out and, got married. And so, but they still have chickens and dogs and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, that is fun. Those are great memories.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you do any competitive riding of any sort?
No.
Okay.
No, I just more did it for fun. Yeah, just a casual rider. My sister did, but I never got into it. Yeah. So,
where'd you go to high school?
I went to a tiny charter school in Prescott Valley.
Okay.
It was called Canyon View. So not super big, very small.
Yeah. What about you?
Bradshaw.
Okay. All right. What did your parents do when you guys were growing up?
My dad's still doing the same thing. So he's a contractor. He builds fences.
Okay.
My mom, housewife.
Yep. All right. What about your brother?
My brother works for Yavapai County. He is a plans examiner.
Yeah.
So.
I bet he's really busy right now.
He is always busy right now.
Oh my gosh. This is May 2021 and things are booming here. That's actually a really interesting conversation. I wonder how far things are backed up and just busy.
I really couldn't speak as far as that's concerned, but I know he's always got something to do.
Super busy. Did you guys play sports growing up? Like on actual teams?
The shorty here played basketball.
No kidding. That is awesome. I've actually had 2 guests on who played college basketball.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, who? How many women played basketball when they were younger? It's not a whole lot. No. And then to actually have played in college, I thought it was hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah.
Were
you good?
I was all right.
Yeah.
I was point guard. It's not like I could be.
Yeah, true. Your height, right? That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect. You're not a center or anything. No. But no sports for you?
I didn't play sports as a kid. I played competitive volleyball in high school. I played for
That's a sport.
One of the the club teams around here.
Totally.
So I played that for a couple years throughout high school.
Okay.
I think
so. You are very competitive.
I'm very competitive.
Yeah, because I played club soccer growing up, and as soon as you get into club of any sort, it's next level.
It is. Well, and I played high school, and then going to club, it was very different. It's very competitive. Yep. Huge teams, lots of people, and yes, very competitive.
How much did you travel?
Luckily, we were just within the state, which was nice for my parents.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Buckeye and Kingman and lots of traveling, and my parents loved it.
Good for them.
No, they did not.
Okay, I was like, oh.
No.
Yeah.
But lots of travel, but it was good.
My parents would say the same thing.
Yeah, lots of travel, which is cool. It's a fun transition from high school sports or school sports into
and it's a lot more intimate because you're with these people on a deeper basis. Yes, both physically and just mentally working with them, and it's pretty. I have some really fun memories from club soccer.
Yeah.
Did you do club basketball?
No, I did not.
No. So then, after high school, what did you guys do?
Went to college and started working. Yeah. So, regular old life.
So you said no college, or you went to college?
Went to college,
Okay.
Yes.
What'd you do?
So I just went to Yavapai College.
Yes.
For administration.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What was your first job out of college?
Well, actually, my first job, I went to college and worked at the same time, so it wasn't
So
like
did I.
went, so
True.
I still had to work.
Where was it at? What were
It
you
was at Betterbuilt,
Okay.
which is now M&I Windows. So I was their
interesting, yeah.
data entry clerk.
Damn, oh, man.
Well, you're taking it back. I had to think about that one. It's like, what did I do?
Well, if you ask me my first job in college, the three come to mind because I did 3 or 4 jobs during college because I worked the whole time I went to college.
Yeah.
Are you good with like Excel, Word? Like
Yes, I'm pretty proficient with that.
you're pretty proficient with that. What? Yeah. So let's just go with this for a little bit. So you've been in an administrative role for most of your career.
Most of my life. Mm-hmm.
What do you enjoy about it, and not even that, just what are you good at? Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm good at teaching, training,
Okay.
leading people.
Yeah.
So it kind of all ties in.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was younger, I always thought I wanted to be either a teacher or a lawyer. So
Yeah.
either one.
I totally could have seen you as a lawyer.
As a lawyer.
Yeah. Why didn't you go down the attorney route?
There was a point in my life when I had gotten admissions to ASU, but then I had a little health scare, so that kind of redirected me, and I stayed here.
Yep. Okay.
So for a moment, I almost went to Phoenix, but
Okay. Yeah. That's
then
funny you say that.
for a moment.
Oh gosh, it almost got you.
It almost. Yeah.
Well, I moved here from the valley,
Okay.
and it's kind of like that every time I have to go back. I'd rather not. I'd rather just stay up here, even when it's to visit family.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, I agree. So, any college for you?
Yes, I did. I went to NAU for a year.
Yes.
I was a pre-nursing student, and I did a lot of college during high school. So it was
Good.
I was a couple of years into my college career
with
by the time I hit
credit-wise.
freshman-wise, and I was ready to apply for nursing school, and I just decided it really wasn't for me. I just
Okay.
didn't. I don't know. I didn't see myself in that area. So I actually met my husband while I was in college, and he lived here, and I was like, nursing's not for me, and I don't want to waste my time by going to school and paying a bunch of money. So I moved home, and that's just kind of where I landed. And my parents own a small business in town, and so I grew up doing that. So I came home.
We'll give
back
a
to
shout
work.
out. What
My
small
parents
business?
own Pro Tint window tinting, so they tint residential and commercial buildings.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Any vehicles?
my dad sold that off a couple of years
Okay.
ago. So they're awesome too. If you want your car tinted, it's in Prescott Valley. So
Okay.
they're awesome. And so I grew up in a small business. So I went back to work, and and then I've been working for the Bend community for Sarah Rainwater, who's also a co-owner for, I was 17 when she saw something in me.
And how old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah. So about 7 years I've been working for Sarah, and she saw something in me, I guess. And so I kind of just stuck around. And
I bet some of your time in your family business has been helpful. If
sure.
anything, just the attitude, like just knowing that that's a thing and that people really operate in small businesses.
Yeah.
And you just have probably a decent sense of what.
Well, and
happens.
working in small businesses is so different than working in like corporations
Totally
or,
different.
just even bigger branches of, it's so different.
Even maybe
and
the
it's-
company you work for right now, because you guys are pretty big.
Correct.
Yeah, working for a small business or a family-owned business, it's so intimate, and you really get to know, the community, or, B-Pedal, we really get to know our clients, which I think is such a cool, aspect of what we do, is we get to know people and get to meet so many different walks of life, which is really cool. And I think you don't really get that in, a huge business.
Right.
So-
Even, I had told you I work for Pinion Painting. Even in a business like that, it's hard to build community like what you guys are able to have at B-Pedal. So just a really neat opportunity.
It is. It's a great opportunity.
So how long have you worked for Paul Johnson Drywall?
I actually just switched a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Who have you been with before?
Before that, I worked for a corporation called Print Pack.
Okay.
They are a manufacturing company in Prescott Valley.
All right.
Well, one of the plants is in Prescott Valley, but the headquarters is out of Atlanta.
Okay. A pretty good sized company.
Yep, they are like a mid-size corporation.
Okay. All right.
Mid to large.
Yes. So then bring this all together. So you already mentioned a little bit about B-Pedal. You haven't mentioned anything about B-Pedal. So kind of connect some of these dots in terms of when stuff came about and how B-Pedal came about.
Well, I'll take you back a little bit because we were talking about
Bring it back. Absolutely.
It is Throwback Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about how I even was introduced or how I started in the fitness industry. So way back then, I started teaching as a substitute, but then I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I really liked the teaching aspect. There wasn't anything I didn't like. And fast forward maybe a year or two after that, and that's when spin started to hit the market.
Okay.
And it was brought here. And the woman that I worked for at the time, she had a little studio, and so she decided she wanted to bring bikes on board, and she did. And she said, hey, I want you to take a look at this.
Yeah.
I want you to do this with me, and what do you think? And I took a look at it, and I did not like it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Okay.
So she knew me, and she knew why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So she said, just take it and mold it into something that you would like.
Gotcha.
And when she said that, then I spent
hours, lights went on.
and hours and hours just trying to figure out how to make it something that I would enjoy doing and that other people would enjoy doing. So then I taught for her various other places, and fast forward now to, what was that? I was 2019 is when we started. So Sarah Rainwater contacted me on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
2018, because it was right before New Year's, and she said, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. I heard that we need to connect.
Okay.
And I said, I'm in.
Yeah.
And so at that time, it was just as the trainer. So she was putting together the group and the location and the bikes and all the things, but she needed someone to come in and create the
boots
product.
on the ground
Create
person.
the product and train everybody.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So we started March of 2019.
All right.
And then fast forward 1 year after that, and that's when I became a partner with Sarah. And right at that time, COVID hit.
Yep.
So we had to close down. There was a couple of things that were happening at that time. We'd also, the location that we were at, we'd lost the lease there, so we needed to find a new spot.
Yeah, where were you?
We were off of 6th Street.
We were right next to the Den.
Next to the Den.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, so right there, and we had lost the lease, and in that same moment, it was like lease, partnership, and then COVID.
Yeah.
And close.
Yeah.
And so all these things were happening at that time, and we kind of had to regroup while we were closing, trying to figure out what we were going to do. And after a little bit of just the thinking of what are we going to do with all this stuff, we have to move out, where are we going to store all this? I just said, why don't we rent the bikes out to all of our existed unlimited membership?
Yes.
And so we went virtual with our business during the time that we were closed. And our members are great. They were really supportive. They always are. They always have been. But they were awesome. We definitely would not be where we are without them. And so we're very grateful for that. And we were able to stay in present, in their minds and in their lives. And then when we opened in October of last year, we had a really great grand opening.
We came back. I unfortunately, I don't think a lot of businesses can say it, but we came back stronger. And we came back way better than what we did before COVID. So we were very, very fortunate, I think, as a business and as a community to come back strong. Yeah, it was very cool.
We did, but I just want to say this because shout out to the team, because during that time that we went, the virtual aspect of it was one thing. The next part was my home kind of became a virtual studio, but the ladies that are on the team, they got to work with me and be one-on-one. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have had that if we'd have still been in the studio. So they were able to grow. The one thing that we said during that time is they're not going to know who we are when we come back because we're going to be better than what they remember.
Yes.
And they
Our
did
goal
it.
was to shock them.
They did it.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. Rewind real quick. What was the impetus for Sarah looking into a spin studio and then eventually calling you?
So she at that time owned Vinyasa Fit and then Bend. And they were having some logistical issues with going back and forth with staff from Prescott to Prescott Valley. Makes sense. It made sense to close Vinyasa Fit and put the personnel in Prescott.
Yes.
But at that time, she also got the opportunity to buy the assets from a studio that was in Prescott. And then that's where Spin was born.
Bicycle assets?
Not bicycle assets,
yoga
just
assets.
A yoga asset.
Oh,
but it would
gotcha.
have been another yoga studio, which she wasn't going to do that.
Yes.
So
that's where we got our first location was from those assets of that business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she thought, well, I've always, Spin would do really well in Prescott.
Yeah.
There's no Spin studio in Prescott, so let's bring it in.
Okay. Who told her to talk to you?
My friend Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah. A mutual friend.
That's so cool. I love how that stuff happens. Yeah. And you said as soon as she asked you, you were like, you're all in.
Yes.
We're doing this. Definitely. Yes. Yeah. What was it? Kind of give us a little bit of, you gave us some of the backstory, but had you just figured out that was something you loved doing and you had done enough of the programming and stuff at your previous studio?
I love anything fitness, and I've taught everything from yoga to bar to kickboxing, you name it.
Okay.
And spin included, but spin is just the thing for me.
Okay.
So I've never felt so alive and so myself, so much myself as I do when I teach spin.
Okay.
And then teaching somebody else that, developing a team from scratch to teach it.
Yes.
Then that was the challenge that I needed at the time.
Okay.
So I love that, and I love a challenge too. So not only for myself, for my personal growth, but for theirs, and then that trickles down into the membership and the business and everything else. So there was no way I was going to say no.
That's awesome. How did the business get off its feet? Meaning, you essentially open up a studio with no previous clients. You didn't buy assets. You didn't buy a book of business from anyone. How does that happen?
Well, I think yes, there are some assets there as far as people, because it was the reach that the previous business had, Vinyasa Fit. Now, they weren't at all in the same realm, so it's not yoga and it's yoga and spin.
Yeah.
But there's still a reach there. There's still a community there.
And that's where
and I think that's
partially started.
Part.
Well, and through Bend, there was a massive clientele that's already pre-existing, and with the close of Vinyasa Fit, the clientele was very, very similar. To kind of reach out to them. So Sarah, utilizing the assets of Bend, of all of those clients. And so we did have, I guess, an enormous amount of people to start reaching out to.
That was the pool that you went to.
And that was the pool we started with. And then, we hit the ground old school, flyers into businesses, handing them out downtown. We went old school. We were all over social media, just trying to spread the word. And our opening day was awesome. It was packed full, and it was super cool. So it was cool to see, being able to pull all these people from, here's an idea of something we don't have in town, to let's jam as many people into the studio,
Totally.
On opening day 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Man.
2 years in March.
Yeah.
If you bring up such a really interesting point, one that a lot of people talk about. I'm really into business, so that's why I want to ask you some of these just more nuanced questions. But the fact that Bend Hot Yoga Studio was a thing, and they had grown a following, so to speak. I don't know what you call them over there, members or clients.
Or clients.
Clients.
Members.
And so you always have to, it's easiest and best to start with one product. Whereas if you had started with the yoga studio and a spin studio, it's really hard to kind of make that fit. But once you perfect this one product, then you've got this pool of people who can often transition to something else as well. And so it sounds like you guys have done that well, which is great.
I think that was a large part of it. I think also because there was several of us that were teaching, maybe not spin. They weren't teaching spin, but they were teaching some other form of fitness and getting the word out there with social media. You have a certain draw, a certain pool. So having lived here basically all my life and teaching for 20 some odd years, you develop that kind of following as well. So that's a great help.
Good point. Just kind of personal following almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really neat.
Yeah.
What can people expect when they come into B-Pedal?
Fun.
So I'll actually preface this.
That was my word too.
I did a podcast next door with Bree Sipla, and
Did you hear us?
Oh, totally. So we're rolling the podcast just like we're doing now, and all of a sudden it's like do, and Bree's like, oh, that's next door, and we just kept talking, and it was great. So when you say fun, I imagine.
Loud.
Yeah.
We just want
So what is spin?
So
What is B-pedal spin?
B-pedal spin is different because we operate in what we call a rhythm ride. So when you come in, most conventional spin studios will have you on a bike, and it's either you're up or you're down. So you're either climbing or you're sprinting.
Okay.
You're either adding tension or you're taking the tension off. So in the saddle, out of the saddle. And for a rhythm ride, what you're doing is, yes, you're in the saddle, you're out of the saddle, you're adding tension, loosening tension, but we choreograph it.
Okay.
So there's what we call dancing on a bike.
Okay.
So you're up there and you're moving, and so I think that's one of the draws is for a lot of people. I hear, and I'm sure Alyssa can attest to this, they say, well, I'm just so not coordinated. And we just tell them, don't worry about it, just move. Just move and do you and have fun with it, and eventually you'll start to connect with some of the movements, the beats, the choreography, names. You can't help it but connect all those dots, and then when you start to see their smiles. We have a lot of people that come in and obviously intimidated the first time, and they come in and they're like, oh, I don't know what to expect. But the lights are dimmed. We turn off all the lights, but then we have these nano lights that all connect, and they move to the sound of the music or to the sound of your voice. So when they're on, as long as there is some kind of sound, the lights will move in those patterns. And then we have different set patterns that you can choose from. So some are more blue tones, some are red tones, some are stroby, some are not stroby. So when you mix in the atmosphere of a club with the lighting.
I was just going to say nightclub.
Exactly. And then the music and the beat pumping and very positive, upbeat.
Absolutely.
And we're giving them what we call a HIIT workout, so it's high intensity. So the way that I structured the layout, if you will, of point A to Z in the class, you're going from taking them up, taking them down, taking them up, taking them down. So they don't gas out by just like going hard, or like bottom out when they're just like, this is just like climbing. So it's a HIIT workout. It's in a club atmosphere, great vibes. And
I think that's one of the draws of B-pedal or the type of spin we do is it's fun. So you don't, although you feel like you're working out and you do, you definitely feel it. But you're having fun, and usually most of the members are smiling or they're singing along to the music or they're having fun with it. And once they start to get really comfortable and they start to, know the movements and the modalities, they're like, okay, they just feel like they crush it.
Yeah.
And they walk out and they're always glowing from sweat,
Yes.
but also just a smile from just a
inside.
smile. And they're always walking out being like, I just feel so good. And it's really cool to see. I think that's what's so special about Pedal is it's like, it's fun. It's a fun workout. I mean, I don't go to the gym and be like, yeah, that was fun.
Right.
Right? I go to Pedal and I'm like, yeah, that was fun. That was a blast. You get to hang out with really cool people and create that community and have fun. I think that's what's so different.
Yeah. Do you think that's one of the reasons that you enjoy it so much is because of just how different it is from other forms of working out, exercise?
I think that is a large part. For me personally, I enjoy leading and having everyone. One of my sayings when I'm up there is, I love it when a plan comes together. And they all know exactly what I mean. And that in turn lets them know success. Like they were all on it. They were all together. They were synchronized. They did it. So I mean, it's as much of a win for me as it is for them.
Absolutely.
And so we share that.
Yep.
It's not just like, oh, Yvette's up there and she just taught a class and she felt really good about it.
Right.
No, I feel good about it because they feel good about it.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how I feel unless they feel good.
Yep. That makes sense.
Shared energy.
How did you go about creating and crafting different, I don't even know what you call them, but we'll call them workouts until you tell me a different word. But so how did you formulate what you do and how you go about this A to Z process? And then obviously you have different ones throughout the week. Are they the same ones? So speak to some of those things.
Well, I can't give away my secret formula.
The people want to know.
I'll summarize it by saying that we basically let our creativity form the moves that we're going to do. Put a name to it, and then we put them in order so that it is something that we can direct them to do successfully. Because just because there's a move out there doesn't mean that it's going to go well together.
True.
Either because of the way it moves, or because of the beat, or the whether it's slow or fast, or there's many things, many aspects that can affect that. But we start with creating a move, putting a name to it, learning how to lead it successfully, putting it to music. Sometimes you find out that it works really well, and sometimes you find out that it didn't work.
That's
and then
life.
You go back.
you
go back and you substitute something else in there, and then you re-deliver that. So I can't give away all my secrets, but that's pretty much it.
As far as different types of workouts or rides, again, what do you call them? Like when?
What do you mean?
Our classes it's a rhythm ride.
It's a rhythm ride.
Rhythm ride. And I assume they're not all identical. You've designed different rhythm rides.
The structure, like the hip part of it, is similar for every one of us.
Okay.
Every one of us does that, and we've all been given suggestions on what we can do to make that a hit workout.
Okay.
But the ladies have free will to make it their own as far as style.
I mean. Okay.
And how they pair the moves, how they make those combinations. That's up to them.
Okay.
But Monday through Sunday, all you'll see on the schedule is a party pedal class, unless it's a special event of some sort. But all of our classes are named the same, but it doesn't mean you'll ever get the same class.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You'll get the same vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll get the same feel.
Yep.
But we're
there'll
all
be
very
subtleties
different.
and nuances.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The music, the
different
the
people are yelling at
combinations.
you.
Yeah, different people are yelling at you, but the combinations, the music, all of that, it's going to be different each class, which is cool, because then you're never coming in and getting the same workout.
That's what I was getting at.
You don't get bored.
Yeah.
I by the sound of it,
You should come in and do it.
it sounds like a blast. It really does. No, it sounds, just from a sheer exercise angle, it just sounds so much different and more fun than so many things.
We just hosted a Nurses Week ride on Friday. So the majority of the people that had come in for that class were all healthcare workers, nurses,
Yep.
but most of them have never taken a class. And so we have members that are nurses that come in regularly, and they had requested this and wanted this, so we were happy to oblige. But I think that one of the best comments that I heard during the aftermath of everything was, that was so much fun. I didn't even feel like I was working out, even though I was sweating. It felt like I was just dancing at a club, which is exactly what we're about.
That was that's the goal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, you nailed it.
Yeah, you throw together a really great workout where you're going to burn an immense amount of calories with a state-of-the-art, sound system and light system, which is super cool. Super cool. So
that is so cool.
And, top-notch teaching.
And top-notch
teaching.
Yeah.
Who all
we're talking about the lights. We're talking about everything else.
We're pretty cool, too, I guess.
So talk about yourselves and whoever else teaches. You guys each teach how many times a week? Who else teaches, etc.?
So for me, it varies anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week, just depending on if we're holding special events or orientations. We try to switch the weekends so that not the same person's not teaching every single Saturday and gets burned out and things like that. So we do switch it up. So that's what it's like for me. Alyssa here teaches probably the most classes because it's like her full-time job.
It's my full-time job, so I'm at the studio Monday through Friday, but I teach anywhere from 4 to 5 times a week, just depending on the week. But it's my full-time gig. Yeah, but we have an awesome team. There's only 6 of us.
So we have myself, Alyssa, Sarah Badia, Lily, Liz, and Kia. And then Taylor, who's she's at home right now taking care of the twins that she just had a month ago. So she'll be returning hopefully.
Was she the connection?
She was the connection.
Taylor? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I trained Taylor at a different location, and that's how Taylor and I met. And so she knew what that was about.
Totally.
Yeah, we've got a really small team, and we all work really well together, which is really cool.
Do those other 4 people then teach at some point in the cycle?
Yes. Anywhere between 2 to 3 times a week, each teacher instructs.
Yeah.
So,
How many classes per week? What's your schedule look like?
We have about 14, 15, maybe more than 15 classes a week.
Okay.
Right. I think between 15 and
So we 20? Have a wide range. We have 6 a.m.s, 8:30.
5:30.
We have 5:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. On the weekends, we have an 8 o'clock on Saturday, 8 a.m., and 9:30. And then on Sunday, 10.
Yeah.
So we have every day of the week.
We really try and get all targeted, give people what they want, but the time slots that people can really make it to.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
But we do have a twist on Saturdays and Sundays.
Let's hear it.
We have most of our classes are 45 minutes because we appreciate everybody's time, and we know that, everybody's got somewhere to go, somewhere to be. So sometimes an hour isn't feasible. So we try to get them in and out in about 45 minutes. Except for Saturday and Sunday, the 8 o'clock and the 10 o'clock. So Saturday 8, Sunday 10. Those are hour long. So you get to test your limits a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are fun.
Speak to the community that you guys have built. I'm fascinated with how businesses can build community and how powerful it is for everyone involved.
Well, like I said before, we have great membership. And I don't even like to use that word because to me, they're family and friends.
Totally.
They're family and friends. We are indeed a community. We want to get to know our people. We want to connect with them. We want to know how they're doing. If they're not okay, we can see it. We can sense it.
Yeah.
We talk to them before. We talk to them after. It's a lot of us have developed friendships outside of the studio or maybe inside of the studio, if you will. So we are very diverse as far as how we teach, who we are as instructors, and we have a very diverse group of clientele as well. But there's always a component that ties us together. And I think that comes from caring about each other and actually genuinely wanting to know. Like, if somebody's not there for a day or two, we're like, hey, welcome back.
Even a day. Yeah, that they're not there.
Oh, yeah, we know it. If somebody's, on vacation, how was your vacation?
Yeah.
If somebody's going through some medical situation, hey, how'd that go? Yeah. We just try to connect those dots and be there for people just the way that we would want them to be there for us.
Totally.
It's not any different. I think one of our biggest wins lately is we have a member that has a handicap, but comes in, and we've tried to develop an apparatus that allows her to still ride. She's missing part of a limb. Okay. So what does that tell you?
Well, she makes it hard. But
she kills it.
And you try to accommodate.
Yeah. We will work with you. We want you to be successful at what you want to do. Yeah. Now, a lot of times we have people come in and they say, this is just so hard. I've heard it's just the hardest thing. It's what you make it. Yeah. We don't expect right out of the gate for you to just
killing it
be, keeping up with the Joneses.
All the movements. Yeah.
So, it takes
You mean you don't kick those people out?
Yeah.
No, those are the people that we're just like, all right, I see you, and
we'll help you.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest part is we've truly become friends with the majority of our clientele. We know so much about our clientele, and they know a lot about us. Like they know a lot of our personal lives. They know our, so that's really cool, and I think that's very different to very just hi, welcome in. And it's like we know we make it a goal to learn every single person's name, even if it's their first time in. Like our goal is to learn people's name, to learn something about them, and for them to feel super welcomed, because that is ultimately our goal, is just to make every single person, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what, to make you feel welcome. And that's our number one goal. And I think it's definitely been very successful, because
I was going to say, you're seeing the fruit of your labor.
We don't want a revolving door.
No.
We want someone to stay and come and be part of what we have. And one of the things I also like to say is I want you to live to write another day. So I want you to feel comfortable enough, whether you're in day 1 or you're in day 200 or 2,000. And that's the other part of how we've developed this group, is that we often get other members that then try to, to welcome also the newcomers and let them know, hey, I was once where you were.
They're now the OG of the group, and they're just welcoming people just like you guys would.
I think that's what's so cool about our clients too, is they see a new person walking in and they're like, hi, my name's Jace.
I don't know. They're just
they welcome them in before we have a chance to say hi, which is so cool. And I've seen people meet just sitting next to each other, and they're like, let's go get coffee, let's hang out, let's be friends. And I think that's super cool. I think our clientele,
it's so powerful.
I mean, we always we talk about likes attract like, and our goal is to attract those people that we want to surround ourselves with, and it's definitely paid off, and it's been really cool to see.
What a cool business it is, that the results are not only that you get exercise, but that you get family. They're not just members, they're family.
I love what I do.
It's so cool.
I love what we've built.
It's like every business owner's dream is to be able to call their customers family, literally. Yeah. And that's what you guys get to do.
We do.
Yeah, and share something. I think exercise can be pretty intimate, especially in the environment you're in. I mean, you're really revealing a lot of yourself, both physically and mentally.
You are. And one of the other things that I think ties everybody together is you're sharing that energy, whether the person next to you knows or not. It does create that sense of intimacy. Yes. How many times have I heard somebody say, all I wanted to do today was cry, or I did. The whole time I was crying because it was an emotional release. We have part of our structure. I'll give away this little bit.
All right. Breaking news, everyone.
Details.
Part of our structure is that we have the last sprint in a set in our playlist is called our Leave It on the Floor song. And I developed that when I started to see what happened when I said to people, whatever you came in with today that you don't want to take, leave it on the floor with this one. Yep. It was their sign, number one, this is the last sprint. We're almost done with the class. And number three, it's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
It's okay. And so I think that really has taken a hold, and people connect with that, and they do leave it there.
That's
so
awesome.
if they've had a bad day, just leave it.
Yep.
Because before we started calling it that, it was like, this is the last sprint. And yeah, they're excited because it's the last sprint. But now when you say like, this is your leave it on the floor, and you tell them what it means, it's now they're thinking about like all of this stuff that they just want to let go and they want to get rid of.
Yep.
And then sometimes the minute that song is over, they just like sit down, and it seems like this huge release of, well, first the song is over and you're no longer, your heart rate can come down a little bit, but it's also like you just see like this weight, and like their shoulders drop a little bit lower, and they just like seem calmer.
Totally.
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's a little
but we don't leave
sneak
them there.
peek.
No. We give them one or two
more
so they could get happy again.
It's not the end, but
I see.
It's always the sign that it's close to the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What are your guys' dreams and desires for Bipedal in the future?
Okay, so mine is to create more Bipedals.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Worldwide.
Enough said.
World domination.
Family domination.
Family domination.
Well, to grow the family, but yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to dominate a family. I want to grow a family.
No, you want to grow. Absolutely. That's what makes it special.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, just continue to grow and spread throughout different communities and be able to replicate what we've been able to create up into this point and into the future. I'm just along for the ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
How does someone, or what's the typical membership structure like? Do you pay per month? Is it how's it work?
I'll let you talk about
Yeah, we
this.
have a couple different, our goal is to try and reach everyone's budget.
Yes.
Everyone's schedule, because we definitely know that all of those are factors. So we want to be able to reach as many people who want to come in. So we have a lot of different ways. We've got memberships, we've got class passes. People can just stop in. Our most common is a membership, just because it's a little bit more bang for your buck. But you can go month to month. You can pay, in large clumps, and
all right.
So then you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Class passes are also a really great option for maybe people who have like more irregular schedules, who can't come in multiple times a week. So those are really great. Those are just bundled classes where they never expire and they live on your account forever.
Yeah.
Or there's just a drop-in rate if you just wanted to come once a month, or if you're from an out of town, you're out of town, you just want to stop in, which is really cool to see too. We have a lot of those.
Yeah, we do have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Tons of people who come through here.
Yeah, and then they always leave. They're like, I wish I had something like this in my town. So
wink,
moving on. But it's so we have a lot of different areas. We are always looking to help get people into the studio and accommodate their budgets and their schedule too. So yeah.
With your concentration on world domination, it means you might have to leave Prescott maybe just for a short time.
I don't mind traveling the world
good.
as long as I come back to base.
Yeah. So speak to that. Let's segue. What is it about Greater Prescott that keeps you both here?
Why not? I mean, I have everything I need here. It's great. It's a great place to live. I love the outdoors activities that we have. I love that my family's here. I love that all my friends are here. I love that I can make a good living here and provide for myself and my family. And I love that everything is not that far away.
It is not.
So if I really want city life, then I can travel down to the city.
Yeah.
If I want more of a pine life, I can drive up.
Just go right over there.
Vegas isn't that far. Mexico's not that far.
We're very
California's
central
not
to
that
a lot.
far.
We're going to Colorado, to Durango this summer. It's less than 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Durango's fun.
Yeah.
It's beautiful
It's
there,
going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
I use the term jumping off point. We're just in a really good jumping off point for a lot of different things in a lot of different areas.
We are.
For sure.
What about you?
Well, I was born and raised here, so I have a hard time seeing myself leave. But all my family's here. All four of my, I'm one of 4 kids, so we all live here, and we've all come back here. And my husband's got a pretty permanent job, so
cool.
we've settled in. We're building a house, and we're settling in. Thank you. Yeah, so we're settling into our forever Prescott life. So yeah.
Did we miss anything about the studio? I forgot to ask that. Was there any little tidbit that you wanted?
It's the best place that you could ever spend 45 minutes.
And this is not breaking news, by the way. No. Everyone knows. No. Okay.
It's the best 45 minutes you're going to have. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Breaking the sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we nailed. I think
we
burning some calories, making some friends, having some fun parties.
Yeah. What are the parties about?
I do want to tell you about another thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure when this is going to air, but
within a couple weeks.
We do.
When do you need it to air?
Tomorrow.
No.
Sorry, that ain't happening.
No, but once a month. We do host it once a month.
Yeah, we host teen nights. So they've been usually once a month, and so we'll be hosting a Tri-City and Bipedal fundraiser. It's for Tri-City Prep, and we'll be holding that the 21st.
Okay.
But if it doesn't go up before that, we also do host our teens once a month, which is really cool. It's anyone from 14 to 19.
Okay.
Just a little safe environment, teach kids about exercise and, how to take care of your body, self-care. And
how do you find people to come? How do you get the word out?
Our teenagers. We have a couple teenagers who have spread the word throughout the high schools, which is awesome. And social media.
Yeah.
Social media.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
was there anything else you forgot to mention?
Yes, there is one more thing. We also host, for those that might be a little bit hesitant on coming in, we do host orientations once a month as well, which is just a time, and anybody can do it. It doesn't have to be a beginner. You could be, on year 2
not your first rodeo,
and still want to come
just,
in. Yeah, just to kind of get a little bit more fine tuning on slowing it down and how to go about creating some of those moves.
Okay. Once a month.
Once a month.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, the more you can have that kind of open door for different events, whether it's for teens or for just simply to orient people, like just get them, allow them ways to get in the door is awesome.
So if you want to host a party at the studio, we'll do it.
What does that look like?
It looks like what the Nurses Week healthcare event was. They wanted to party, they wanted to sweat, they wanted to work out, and have some fun. That's
funny. The word party doesn't quite fit in my mind for that, but I get where you're going with that.
Party but once you're in the class, you'll understand why it's a party.
You have to, you do have to see the
once you
action.
See it and hear it,
you heard it a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. All right. Anything else about Greater Prescott that you wanted to mention?
What's not to love?
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. You guys give the same answers that most people give. There's just so many things to like about it. And then all you got to go do is go drive to another town and realize, I love it. Yeah. Well, so you made a comment, you don't have to drive very far. And I'm shocked at how, because I moved from Phoenix. You drive far for a lot of things. And how many people up here still complain about the drive around town, and I'm going, just drive down south to the valley for 10 minutes, and it's just totally different.
Yeah, it is.
And traffic, and it's great. Yeah. All right, then we will go into the rapid fire questions section.
All right.
You already know all the answers. Trust me. If you have more than one answer, give more than one answer.
Okay.
All right. First question.
Do we both answer the same, like one and then
the other? You guys can fight it out. What's your favorite thing about Greater Prescott?
The people.
That was a good one. I think how much it's growing. The new stuff that's popping up everywhere. Yeah.
Like what?
There's so much going on downtown now. I mean, there's always been a lot going on downtown, but all these like little businesses. I went to Founding Fathers for the first time the other day. I was like, this place is so cool. This is like something we needed. I mean, Bee Petals popping up. We got, Apricot Lane popping up. So just like fun new things that weren't there when I was growing up. Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
There is.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see people like you guys, Founding Fathers, doing unique, fun, creative things.
That's what we
I
need.
think it's a really exciting time. Next question. What's your favorite restaurant in Greater Prescott?
Farm Provisions.
Well, I haven't been there, so I can't say that.
Oh, Alyssa! Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Tell your husband
I know.
to take you on a date there. It's fantastic.
We really like, I mean, if we go out, we like to like have Bills or,
Okay.
Barley Hound.
Yeah. Barley Hand's great, too. Love the environment outside. What's the number one thing on your Greater Prescott bucket list?
Bucket list?
Ooh.
Okay, for as long as I've lived here, which is a long time, I've never hiked Granite Mountain, so Granite Mountain.
Me either.
We should do that.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm dead serious. And then I've had one person who's done it, and he said it was hard, but he said it was so worth it. The view from up top, he said, was incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it took me 23 years to hike Thumb Butte, so
That's
I
funny.
mean.
Yeah. I didn't go to the Grand Canyon until I was 25, and I grew up in Arizona.
I've
It's
still
like one of
never
those
been
things that when you live in a
Yeah.
place, you kind of get complacent, I think. And
I've never been there.
We went there when I was 9, and I've not been back
Oh,
since.
so you got to hike it. You
love that.
That's
Yeah,
my Arizona
that
goal is
is-
to hike
yeah.
the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Arizona
my
bucket
sister and I
list,
did it.
yes.
We spent a couple nights at the bottom. It was an epic trip. Also have a Supai Falls, which is just kind of another part. Do it.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
And you guys would just eat it up. It's just great.
Okay.
It's just great. Okay. What's your favorite all-time spin class?
What do you mean?
Like,
Hours.
like, is there a... Because they're not all the same, I guess.
So they're not, but they are.
Okay.
The feeling is the same, but the little nuances that go into making it are what make it its own unique spin class. My favorite is when everyone is just having a good time, enjoying it. When they're talking back, even if they're cussing at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're doing your job then.
Yeah. Whether they're
Yes.
cussing or whether they're laughing or they're crying, as long as they're doing something, it's good.
Totally. What about you?
I think one of my favorite things that we've started to integrate is co-teaching, which is such a fun thing, and we hadn't done it until recently, up until our re-grand opening of you're merging two different styles. I mean, we all teach the same, but we have different personalities,
Absolutely.
different teaching styles, and to be able to work with someone that, there's only a couple of us, but you merge what you do together, and it creates like such a fun
It's a different
environment.
synergy.
Oh my gosh. And you're just looking at each other while you're teaching, and it's just like such a blast, and the people feel it, and you're feeling it with whoever you're teaching with, and that's really cool. I think that's
So
one of my
literally
favorite
when there's
things.
two of you up there.
It's like energy squared.
Double trouble.
energy
Yeah.
squared.
Yeah.
I like double trouble.
Yeah.
Next question. What are 3 words to describe living in Greater Prescott?
Family, peace, and joy.
Home, beautiful, and great. The Greater Prescott.
Well said. But we're not going to end on that. Even though that was like the perfect.
And
You tried. You tried. Mic drop.
Should have waited for that one.
2 more questions. If you weren't doing Bipedal Studio, or maybe for you also, if you weren't doing the yoga studio, which I know you used to work over there a little bit, what type of work would you be doing?
That's a difficult one for me because I've known that this is like my calling, but I think the on the broader spectrum of things, it's helping people realize their better part of them, the better part of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's not so profound.
I know, right?
And beautiful sounding.
Yeah, and you just...
Sorry. It's true.
I know.
Great.
Hers is so great, and it's like make people feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Mine is actually probably interior design.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be... That's always been a...
How do you like the design of my studio?
I do. I love it.
Moving rugs and carpet on the side. Sounds good.
Works.
It works.
Yeah.
Last question. What's your favorite summer activity in Greater Prescott?
Hiking.
What trails?
I do a lot of the pea vine through the dells. Thumb Butte now that I've done it.
Yes.
I still can't believe that.
I know. It took me a long time.
So my favorite is Summit because that kicks my butt every single
Where's Summit?
time. It is on Glassford Hill in Prescott Valley.
Gotcha.
Never done that one either.
That's the one I did yesterday. That's why I won't be able to teach. Like, move my legs tonight.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is one question you guys have for me to wrap up the rapid fire question section?
Ooh.
What is your favorite thing to do in Greater Prescott?
Be outside from the springtime to the fall. I just love the weather here.
Same.
Like, it's just amazing. I can't get over it because I was born and raised in Tucson, then moved to Phoenix, where it's just
Hot.
Just hot. Exactly.
Miserable
And
outside.
it gets warm here in the summer for sure. But when you step into the shade, it's just about the best thing ever. It's just perfect.
It is.
Yeah. So just being outside. We have such a diverse area. Like you guys mentioned, the Pines, the Dells, you name it, Glassford.
Yeah.
It just,
Well, and the
it's
things
amazing.
that go on in Prescott during the summer are so
Yes.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like kayaking too.
Yeah.
Something I haven't done yet. I know. I have a
we
lot to
have
do.
really small lakes, but they're still
That's-
fun.
I mean, kayaking through the Granite Dells is really pretty. You get to
Mm-hmm.
be out in all the rocks and
Exactly.
stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
To wrap it up, I want you to look at the camera and tell the people give them all the information. And I will also post all of this in the description.
Well, you can find us in Prescott at the Depot Marketplace. We are located at 377 North Montezuma, Suite 103. And so if you are looking for a landmark as far as how to find us, we are right behind the Chipotle.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I like the
everyone's
story.
going to know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put up. What about social media?
Social media, you can find us on Instagram and you can find us on Facebook.
Okay.
And
Our
you can find us on our website. Yeah.
PrescottSpin.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What did we not hit on that we need to cover before we wrap this thing up?
Come out and try it. Like, you just have to try it.
Yeah.
You can sign up for classes through our website.
Okay. Yeah, I think my big takeaway is it's really hard. So I've been into the studio, but the lights weren't on, the music wasn't bumping. I
Yeah,
just
you
came in and met you.
just you were next
It was
door.
as boring as it gets.
Yeah.
So I think what people need to do is that get in there because I think it's just hard to imagine until you can step in and go, oh, okay. You mean people work out like this?
Yeah.
It's a kind of a game changer. So
It is.
get in there.
It is. Get in there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up. Nice big smile at the camera. Thank you very much for your time, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we
I
appreciate
know you guys
you.
are both really
you.
busy, and I love it. So
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
having
This
us.
was a lot of
absolutely.
fun.
You guys, thank you very much for watching. I will put up all the information. Go into the studio. You got to check it out. It's like nothing else.
It's
Literally.
like nothing
It's like
else.
nothing
Nothing
else.
else.
So, guys, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.